Hey guys, welcome back to all about the Canon XA40. My name is Daniel Rosehill. This YouTube channel covers everything to do with the Canon XA40 Pro camcorder, although an awful lot of this is going to be applicable to different Canon XA series Pro camcorders, and not much is going to be actually really XA40 specific. Apologies to anyone who's been leaving comments on this channel because I didn't turn on my email notifications, and I just logged in yesterday to see I have quite a few comments which I never responded to. Someone asked me to do a video about color correction on the XA40, and my initial inclination was not to do the video because it's not really a camcorder specific thing, color correction. It's, you know, just it's a really post-production topic. But as I was editing a video, I figured, you know, I may as well just show folks my process, or what I typically do to just try to edit the color of my videos a little bit. So this is just a video blog that I just shot, and I'm using this as an example because I think that video blogs are, you know, what camcorders are really good for, because they give that kind of really stable, basic footage. And this was shot on fully automatic mode, and the video, the frames you're seeing are as they came off the camcorder. I'm using a program for editing called Kdenlive. It's not the most popular video program out there. It's certainly not industry standard. I also use DaVinci, but I actually like Kdenlive just because it's so simple. So I'll just show you guys a little bit of the vlog. Finally arrived yesterday is none other than this kosher MRE. For those who haven't heard about MREs and okay, so this is just me doing a video blog and talking about something I ordered on Amazon. And my kind of general observation about the footage that comes off the XA40 is that it tends to be a little bit flat. So often the first thing I'll do is touch up the saturation a small bit. So I'm just going to add the saturation effect here onto my video track. And my philosophy is kind of less is more. I'm going to just make this bigger so you can see, hopefully a little bit easier, what I'm doing here. And it's really just about dialing in those kind of like fine increments. So I'm just going to touch up to 140, 104, I'm at 150 now, just to show you guys if I crank it all the way up to 1000, you can see it's totally absurd. And if I go all the way to 0, I've got black and white, of course. So I'm just going to go to just pick up my skin tone a little bit better without going, you know, kind of OTT. For some people, this might already be too much. The red on the scissors and the orange on the food label is kind of a little bit maybe oversaturated. So I'm just going to drop down again to 160. And that's probably pretty typical for the level of saturation change I would do on this. Maybe at the low end 130, and at the very high end 170% saturation. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing I do, and this is unfortunately going to be it, because it's a two-part process for me, is I use this lift gamma gain color wheels, which is, you know, really a standard feature in video editing. And this is just kind of fixing up the color a little bit if it needs to be fixed. And I can edit the brightness and darkness across these three layers. That's the gamma layer here. I'm just going to return it to our baseline. Just going to tweak it a tiny bit, 1.0, and just a touch because it's very sensitive. And then we have the gamma, and I'm just going to if we add a little bit of dark, make it slightly darker here. And again, I'm by no means an expert in this. I'm just kind of showing folks what my general process is, and I generally don't touch on the lift, but you can play around and just kind of really dial in the type of image that you want. Then dealing with the color itself, you know, if your color is lacking in some way, or it's kind of too much in one direction, you can use these color wheels. For example, if I go all the way to the right here, I'm going to go into red, and you can just kind of make very, very small adjustments to the color to try get it to reflect more accurately. And you can, you know, you can apply a bit of an effect as well. If you go to the blue, we're getting kind of that sort of green we're getting, so you can kind of be a little bit more stylistic if you want to go for that kind of a thing. And you can read off your adjustments. You can see R 0.89, G 1.006, and B 1.005. So I really haven't done much here at all. So that's kind of typically my process, is less is more mentality, and increasing the saturation by typically, as I said, kind of up to a maximum of about 170%, unless it really, really needs it. And then I just do little edits here. The cool thing is as well, if you kind of have, someone was asking me, do I use Luts? One nice feature of this, and it's probably in most editing programs, this is actually a new laptop, so I haven't saved any yet. But if you kind of find yourself constantly using the same presets, you can actually kind of save them. So I can save this and call it, like, you know, XA40 color 1 or something, and then I can just, you know, when I get more footage, apply the same thing quickly, and I can do the same thing on my saturation. Unfortunately, there isn't, I'm sure in more advanced editing programs, there's a preset you can use that'll throw on the saturation and throw on a bunch of other effects, but in this software, Kdenlive, you have to do those one by one. So that's basically my process. I don't know if that was interesting. Again, I'm a sort of semi-professional at video, and I've been doing this for a number of years, but I'm very much consider myself learning and tweaking the process always, but that's kind of my basic workflow so far on the colors on the XA40, is a little bit of saturation increase and a little very, very small adjustments to the color wheels. And that's it. I hope this was helpful to someone, and keep subscribing and watching the videos if you're interested in this particular camcorder from Canon.